Would you learn about the team last week, and what are your takeaways from that Colorado-Utah trip?
It's a very difficult trip, number one. I thought we battled really hard and put ourselves in position again to have an opportunity to close out some games. Unfortunately, both of those teams closed out the games a little bit better than what we did.
And any takeaways from the last UW game that I mean, anything that you can learn from seeing a team in person that you didn't see on film, maybe?
I think the biggest thing is we've got to play a lot smarter, and this time around it will be the biggest takeaways from the games. I don't think we were very smart in the game.
What's Jalen Noel do so well as a freshman? I mean, he's come into Washington and really made an impact. I mean, how tough is that?
It's tough for any freshman to make an impact stepping in unless you've got talent. He's got talent, and his skill set allows him to do that. If he was just a big guy that needed the ball thrown to him all the time, you could probably take that away. If he was just a point guard that had to initiate offense, kind of like Malachi last year, maybe he's not as effective. But he's a scorer, and he's a scorer that can get his own shots, and which makes him extremely effective, especially with his confidence.
How excited do you think the guys are? Some of them are going back home. I know you don't want them to think about it too much, but over 40 family members and friends with Robo and Malachi Flynn and Deontay Daniels should be there.
You would have to talk to them about that, how excited they are. I think for us, we're in a grind of a season right now, and every opportunity to play should be an exciting opportunity for them to play.
Do you think they show more maturity maybe after the second or third trip back home rather than the first trip, where it's the excitement, getting the jitters up for the first time and kind of playing in front of that setting?
You would think so. I mean, as they're going into their junior year, sophomore and junior years, I think for us, though, it's just getting through this conference. I think we've got to gain maturity as we move through, and seeing teams a second time around should help that.
There's been instances this year in some of the losses where the offense just hits a doldrum, where it's 3 to 5 minutes where you guys aren't able to score. I mean, what are some of the ways that you're getting hold of the team, trying to maybe is it somewhat of a mental thing sometimes?
There's two things we can do better in those situations: defend better and pass the ball better. I think when guys try to do too much on their own, that really bogs down our offense, and we stop playing defense. It cuts down on your scoring opportunities and transitions, where everybody gets an opportunity to score.
Then as a head coach, you get only 2 to 3 times where you have 7 days off in between a game. This is one of those stretches. What do you do as a head coach to kind of rest the legs and practice-wise coming off of a big road trip?
Well, I think we focus more on getting bodies healthy. You focus more on your academics. You focus some on recruiting, where coaches can get out, and at the same time, you focus on your preparation for your next game. So the break gives you an opportunity to kind of correct a lot of things, work on a lot of things.
When did you know you were going to give Steven Sprayrigan the scholarship? Coming into the season, did you have a pretty good idea that was going to be available for him?
I don't know about, no, not necessarily, because we were looking to fill the scholarship. And then when we didn't fill it, we were still actively recruiting to see if there'd be somebody that might come at the break that would transfer in. And when that didn't happen, then it made perfect sense to do this. He certainly has worked extremely hard. I think the guys really trust him and believe in him, and he's made them better. As a great teammate, a great competitor in practice. I wish I could find him some minutes on the floor, because he's one of our more competitive players, smarter players out on the floor as well, too.
There's some obvious advantages of being a scholarship player as opposed to a walk-on. What are some of the things that a walk-on kind of has to go through throughout the course of a season that, as a scholarship player maybe takes for granted?
I think the biggest thing is that most walk-ons come into programs, and regardless of what you can tell them as a head coach, they're going to feel like they're the low man on the totem pole with all the other scholarship players around them. And that's a mental thing you have to go through to really compete every day and realize you belong and you can compete at this level. So the big difference between being a walk-on and a scholarship player, I think, is somebody realizing they've arrived and they can play at this level and have success. That, along with obviously the financial part of it too, where his parents have done a good job here at Washington State, allowing him to be a member of our team and carrying the load for him. He now gets an opportunity to work through some things here within our program to pay for that load himself.
Have you met Pat Chen yet? I know you're at kind of.
I've not met, because I've been out of town, but we've talked on the phone.
What would you make of the hire? It seems like someone with a lot of experience, and what would you kind of make of the
I love the experience. I love his energy. People that I've talked to that have had a chance to sit with him face to face, they all talk about his energy and seems to want to do things the right way and move things in the right direction and everything. So that's an exciting time for us.
Sunday is your suits and sneakers game through the NABC. What does that mean to you and the Coaches versus Cancer in general?
It's a big part of the NABC and our ability to latch onto a program to help promote it or bring recognition to it. And I would have to think a good majority of us throughout college basketball either have had a loved one or know someone who has dealt with cancer. So here's an opportunity for us to bring really great notice to it with suits and sneakers. Every coach in the country this week should be in a suit with a pair of sneakers on, just so it's talked about with a lapel pin, talking about Coaches versus Cancer. And on a personal note for me, it's real big. It's real big for me because I've dealt with it within my family, people who have passed away from cancer. So this gives us an opportunity to bring great recognition just to a disease that if we all stay on the same page and fight together, we can save a lot of lives.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Thank you.